Clap. Okay. I'm not sure how the audio is working. I think it's working. Anyway, welcome to the video version of my OnFilm column. I'm Philip Martin, and if you've access this to the Arkansas Democrat Gazette iPad app, or maybe you've just found it on YouTube, or you found it on Blood, Dirt, and Angels, well, welcome. This is what we do these days. Is we talk to you every week about what's going on in the movie world and what's not going on in the movie world right now, since, the James Bond got pushed back to next year, next fall, right? Oof, that means there aren't many tentpole movies that are coming out from now until the end of the year, and that means that, and I don't think it's affecting us here in central Arkansas anyway, but all the Regal theaters are shutting back down for the duration. That's something like 600 theaters worldwide or nationally. Worldwide, it must be worldwide. 663 theaters or something like that are shutting down, and I don't know exactly. The independent theaters seem to be hanging in, at least the ones that I know about, but I don't know how long it could be. It's the vicious cycle. You've got to have product to bring people back to theaters, and it's even safe to go back to theaters now. And I guess you could, follow all the precautions, follow all this. All the boilerplate stuff you're supposed to do it. Wear your mask. I have a bunch of masks here. Mask. Just right here. Mask I haven't opened yet. Do what you have to do. Don't get this stuff. If you can possibly avoid it, don't get it. It's really nasty. No one I know who's had it has had a pleasant time with it. I assume that some of us have been asymptomatic and haven't noticed it, but I wouldn't want to gamble on that. So, anyway. Still, we're going to theaters, and we're going to theaters in a very controlled and limited way, but we're doing it because we think that it's one of the things that we can do safely. Mainly, there's not anybody else in the theater right now, so maybe it's if I urge you to go to a theater, which I'm not, that's up to you, but if I urge you to go to a theater and people go to theaters, maybe it becomes more dangerous. But when we've been to the theaters, and I've done that for professional reasons and for just because we thought it was worth going on a Sunday afternoon. It's been very empty, and that's been bad for things like Tenet, which has only made $45 million in the U.S., which is the world's biggest box office market, and it's made $305 million the rest of the world. So it's, I don't think Christopher Nolan and those guys are going broke, but it was certainly seemed like a tactical mistake to release that in the theaters. And again, I've been talking about this the whole time that we've been in this lockdown stuff, and I think this is the 214th day. If you're watching this on Friday, I might be wrong. I don't carry the calendar in my head, and I can't tick it off Rain Man style, but I think it's day 214 now. Maybe it's not quite that deep into it, but I've been saying that it's sort of like it's a weird time. There are a lot of films coming out, and a lot more going into theaters. This week we have the Chicago 7 movie is going to theaters, and that's going to Netflix sometime later in a couple of weeks. I've seen the film, and I unfortunately didn't get. Oh, hello, Audi. Audi is coming to visit. Should we say hello to Audi? Come here. See, it's not like it's not a hostage situation. She actually does like to come up here and see everybody. So everybody say hi to Audi. She's my bang. I bang the desk. I don't mean to bang the desk, because you bang the desk, then the camera goes jiggle, and I don't. Yeah, the production values are not anything to write home about anyway, but So we have that. We have, but we do have, you know, lovely animals that come visit every once in a while. Um, so what was I talking about? I was talking about how, um, you know, we got lots of movies. Most of them are, you know, the kind of movies that you would see on Netflix or Hulu or maybe at the Riverdale. I mean, they're the kind of movies I like. I mean, I like independent dramas and comedies and things like that. We have some interesting stuff. The Trial of the Chicago 7 is one of those movies. It's an Aaron Sorkin movie. It's very talky. I have a particular interest in this because I was a weird kid. I read the transcript of the trial. I remember I had the paperback version with a complete transcript of the trial of Chicago 7. And so all these names, Dellinger and Kunstler, and they all come back to me. I mean, I really, you know, sort of, I remember looking at that book and reading it when I was, you know, right around junior high school. So I carried it to junior high school with me, to Rialto Junior High School in Rialto, California, part of the Inland Empire. Um, yeah, listening to KMEN. But so that brought back a lot of memories to me. I wish I would have gotten a chance to review that film, but I think I'm actually going to write a Sunday column about it, which will be, you know, more to what I would want to say about it, because as a movie, it's got virtues, but it's really more of a memory play for me than it is something that is going to, you know, blow anybody's socks off. I mean, A.O. Scott in his review says he doesn't think it's a good movie, and I understand that. I mean, as a critic, sometimes you can get into something and you can go, well, this isn't very good, but, and yet might be your reaction to it too. So, but if you don't know the story, it's a fascinating story, and it's just it feels like fiction. It feels like this absurdist, you know, kind of network style, a serio comic movie, but it's in fact a true story, and the words are basically taken from the transcript. I think they've been Sorkinized a bit, so you can have that to look forward to. What else have we got? Oh, we've got a couple things. Yellow Rose looks interesting. I have not seen that, even though that's a Sony picture. I probably could have got a screener of that had I been aware that it was coming out. It sounds a little like a reprise or a callback to Wild Rose from last year, or was that 2 years ago? That brought the famous or the wonderful Jessie, what's her name, to our attention as a wonderful singer and actress. And this was a Filipino woman who is trying to be a country and western singer, not an Irish or a Scottish felon who's trying to be a country and western singer. But it will be. I think it might be a worthwhile watch, and we might watch that later too. And the Apple Plus. Apple TV Plus film On the Rocks actually opened Friday, but we held the review to this week just because, you know, I don't have enough space. I just don't. I don't have enough space. I don't have enough time. I mean, it's sort of like I said, I would have loved to have written a review of, okay, Audie's gone, of the Trial of Chicago 7, but, you know, ran out of room. I ran out of time. I just don't have time to do that. I'm trying to write as many reviews. I think I've probably written more reviews this year than I generally have. And this new movies column, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to hand it off. I hope I'll be able to hand it off at some point. But it's sort of like consuming a lot of my time too, because I'm trying to really give you an overview of what's opening, both in the theaters. In some of these movies, you have no chance to see, because they just show up. It's like they pop up on the radar. And then the stuff that's online, that's on video on demand, which is a really rich environment now. And they are sending me links and links and links, and Karen's getting links and links and links. So much so that we could not possibly watch them all, much less watch them all and review them all. So we are trying to do our best with what we've got, and we're not complaining. I'm just trying to explain to you why some things are in the newspaper and some things aren't in the newspaper. I would like to have reviews of every film that you could see, but we don't have the space, we don't have the manpower, we don't have the resources to do that, and I think everybody understands. I think that everybody's getting behind that. I've not had any complaints, at least not vociferous complaints, and we're going to try to keep doing it. The other thing I want to talk a little bit about, and I'm going to have to address this in some way in the newspaper, and I don't know what yet, because again, we've got a wonderful cover story this week that I've actually been holding for a while, about the 30th anniversary of Goodfellas, and Nicholas Pileggi and Glenn Kinney were interviewed. Dan Liebarker interviewed them for this piece, and it's quite interesting. It's if you know a lot about Goodfellas, you probably don't know this much. They'll probably still learn some stuff, and if you don't know that much about Goodfellas, well, this will made me want to go back and revisit the film. So, let's put it that way. And Goodfellas is probably, most days a top 20, 30 movie for me. I'm very, but there were things that were in the story that made me go, oh, yeah, I never quite realized that's exactly what they were doing. But now that you mention it, So I'm really happy about that story. I'm happy about what we're able to put in the paper. I'm unhappy about what we're not able to get in the newspaper. But that's, the nature of a newspaper. Even in the digital age, you still have a finite amount of time and we have a finite amount of space. Now, we can put some of that stuff, over on the Blood, Dirt, and Angels blog, and we will. I think Nicholas Pileggi's audio is going up over there. Oh, yeah, I'm doing all kinds of stuff. The audio engineer, I'm doing this, and actually did a little illustration for the Goodfellas piece. We'll see if that passes muster and it gets into the newspaper or not, because I'm not the ultimate decider on whether things are up to snuff visually. So, we're making the best of what we've got here. It's a harrowing time for theaters and for cinema and for Hollywood. And we don't know what is going to happen. We assume that at some point we're going to get back to normal, and all these things that are supposed to come out will come out. Lots of things have been delayed. I don't have a list right now. You can read the new movies thing, and I write a little bit about that in there. The Hot Springs Film Festival is this week, and that used to be, I don't know about you, but our lives, there were always, events that told you what was going on. I mean, where you were in the year. It's like we had Tribeca, in March, and then, we had the Hot Springs Film Festival in October, and now we're going to have Filmland in October too. The Arkansas Cinema Society, I think that event is sort of like secured into October now, which is a good thing for them, because they'll be able to get more films like Nomadland and last night in Miami. And I think Nomadland, if you saw it at ACS, it may be a long time before you get to see it in a theater. So you really are up on everybody. I hope that, I don't know what the deal is going to be with screeners this year, with for your consideration screeners. Do you hear that boom boom? I don't know what that is. That's something terrible happened downstairs, probably. But our Critics Association, the Southeastern Film Critics Association, has decided to move its voting back into February, and that's okay with me. I mean, I don't really care when we vote. I don't really care. I'll probably still come out with a top 10 list, for the end of the year for the last Sunday of the year, I'll probably still do what I always do. But it's going to be very different in that most of the films that I've seen this year, I've seen, the way you've seen them. I've seen them on TV. I've seen them on my computer. It's not been a normal year. And a lot of the films that we were going to come out that we were looking forward to have been pushed. And I don't know, so maybe I'll get a DVD of Nomadland before long, or a link to it, or something like that. Maybe a lot of these films that maybe I'll get to see them at least. I don't know though. Maybe not. Maybe the screeners are going to have been pushed back too, and that's why we've pushed our voting deadline back. Anyway, we're just doing the best we can. And like I said, the Hot Springs Film Festival starts on the 9th, which is today. Not starting yesterday like the Filmland did. Filmland starts on Thursday, which is not good for us. But we did have something the week before. But then they came out with new announcements like on the Wednesday before it started, which means that we couldn't get a lot of stuff. It's just bad. If you're trying to get something in my newspaper, in my section, in my Friday movie section, please get it to me at least a week ahead of time, at least the Friday before. And if you can't manage that, please at least get it to me by Tuesday morning, because Wednesday morning is my deadline, my drop dead line. So, if it comes in, we did it last week, but it's tough. Okay, anyway, I don't really know much about what's at the Hot Springs Festival this year because, again, usually we're participating in it. We're doing sessions down there, and I will have been watching these films for 3 or 4 weeks before the festival, and I will know something about them. Right now, I can tell you that they've got what looks like a really good lineup. I mean, they've got an Alex Gibney retrospective with a lot of his films. The Rock and Roll President Jimmy Carter thing, The Cakes of Versailles, Story of a Movement, 9 to 5 Story of a Movement. I mean, Larry Foley's film about what was it about? I just saw it. My God. The Hanging Judge. That's right. Yeah, I've seen that, and it's a very good film. It's like a lot of Larry's work. It's really solid, and it's really interesting. If it suffers from production values, I mean, because it does incorporate reenactments, and sometimes those seem a little weird in a documentary type thing. But, it's a very good documentary, and it's very good. Let's see what else Devil Put the Coal in the Ground, which I've heard a lot about, and it's not finished. That's a sneak preview. Otto Lenya and the Cakes of Versailles, which is allegedly a beautiful, wonderful film about chefs. Story of a Movement, 9 to 5, is about the, secretaries, the rise of secretaries in the 70s. We have, like I said, the Gilney thing is really interesting because Client 9, the rise and fall of Elliot Spitzer, Enron, smartest guys in the room, Finding Fela, which is about Fela Kuti, the singer, the African singer, Scientology, Going Clear, Scientology in the Prison of Belief, which is probably the best Scientology movie. My Scientology movie may be the most entertaining Scientology movie, but I think this might be the best one. Now, No Stone Unturned, which is from 2017, is one I somehow missed. So I don't know anything about that. And Taxi to the Dark Side, which is just amazing. I really love that film. That's a very scary film, and it's told us some dark stuff about us. The Southern documentaries, the highlight here for me will be the Kate brothers, the Benjamin Mead's Arkansas rock and soul royalty. Benjamin Mead, I know a little bit, and I've seen some of his films, and that promises. Boys State, which is excellent, very good film. probably one of the top 10 films of the year, by my reckoning right now. John Lewis's Good Trouble, which another great film. Larry Foley's, and I should give the title of that film. It's Indians, Outlaws, Marshals, and the Hanging Judge. And that's so. Okay, there's some construction going on near here. That's what the boom is. Okay. Rap Squad. I don't know anything about Rap Squad except it's set in Helena, West Helena, about their and proper pronouns, which I don't know much about either. I know it's about transgender clergymen in North Carolina, or transgender clergy, maybe not clergymen. And they do such a good job of programming this festival. I would invite you to go to their website and check all this stuff out for yourself. I'm just looking at, that's what I'm looking at right now. And you can, I think that, don't quote me on this, I think it's $150 it will get you into the festival virtually, so you can watch all these movies, and they're really worth it. Especially virtually, you can probably do it on your own schedule, you know. Again, I haven't quite gone through all that. Maybe in my new movies column, I will tell you a little bit more definitive information. And I won't just be reading off the website, which is what we're reduced to. The international docu. Mama Crom is, I've heard some good things about that. That's a West African film shot in Ghana. School. It's about a school there. Once Upon a Time in Venezuela. I've heard of that. The Walrus and the Wishkle. Oh, I heard that. Yeah, that's the Smooshy. That's the the Walrus and the Whistleblower. That's an animal doc from Canada that I've heard some good things about. The short films are always really wonderful. Nolan Dean's Of Concrete and Skin, the story of the Elaine Massacre Memorial, would be worth checking out. Though they, in the program notes here, it's Phillips County, AK, Alaska. That's Phillips County, Arkansas. Sorry, guys. The committee selects. Okay, yeah, this looks really good. And again, I don't know what you should do except go to the website and pay your money and get into the festival. This is a great time. If you've never been to a film festival, you can experience all virtually from the comfort of your own home here. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the new normal, right? So anyway, what else do I have to go to tell you guys this week? Well, we're going to get better at this at some point. I think what I'm going to start doing, and I would have done it this week, except I realized we were going to have to talk about Hot Springs Film Festival, and we're going to have to talk about all this. I think what I'm going to start doing is bringing in special guests to do this, and not that special guest, who you can see back there. Audi has not quite left the building, so she's been listening, eavesdropping. So we'll start doing interviews and things like that on this space. Really, it won't just be me chattering about stuff. But anyway, that's it for this week. Remember, Hot Springs Documentary Film Festival. Good stuff there. Good stuff in the theaters. Good stuff online. Any feedback you have, send it to me. Take it. Goodfellas this week. Yeah, that's read that story. That's a good story. It's right up there. Okay. Take care. We'll see you later, and maybe at the movies. Bye.